This is a message primarily for our Year 11 and Year 13 pupils, some Year 12s, who are taking national examinations this summer. It's Monday, the 6th of April 2020, which means that a couple of days ago on Friday, Ofqual, the examinations regulator in the UK, released information. It was for pupils, for parents, for centres and for examination boards, giving clarity upon the route forward for those examinations and how grades will be awarded. I'm talking to you from the main hall, partly because it's already set up for examinations, and I think it probably will be early in the autumn term, but also because we had that very special meeting for worship here on that last Thursday when we all managed to gather before the school buildings had to close in the spring term. And I want to start, if I might, with that particular moment, because when we met in here, you might remember one of the things I spoke to you about was about education. And that any education, a Sibford education or anywhere else, is about much more than just national examinations. But there is a bottom line, which was that you do take national examinations. We prepare pupils for those national examinations, be they BTECs, A-levels, AS exams, the EPQs, GCSEs, and many others as well. And we want you to do as best as you possibly can. We're very proud of getting pupils good grades, or as high grades as we possibly can get them. So you can and you must keep going, because the second point I would want to make is this, is that you're going to get two bites of the cherry. At some point in the fortnight after the 29th of May, your teachers here with the senior leadership team, with the middle managers in the school, will submit grades to the examination boards. Will submit grades which we think are a fair reflection upon what you should have been able to achieve in your summer examinations. And we will, of course, be optimistic, realistic and fair. Can I stress that you cannot ask us what those grades might be? They're confidential grades, so please don't ask, because teachers will not be able to tell you what grades are going to be submitted. However, the Ofqual have said that we have got a window of opportunity. We don't have to take that, and I think there will be centres that will find it very difficult to submit further information, but you have got 6 weeks, therefore, after the summer term begins again, which is in a couple of weeks' time, where you can be talking to your teachers, you can be submitting pieces of information, submitting assessments to help us to clarify what grade we might be submitting for you. So you can use that time wisely, and that means that the time now, which it's the Easter break, so typically at this time you would be working very hard, you would be revising, you would have a space set up, and I would strongly encourage you still to have that space set up for you to keep going, keep learning, keep educating. Think about all the advice and support that the teachers have given you. Think about what's on Firefly. Think about what's been emailed to you. Think about the Microsoft Teams sessions we've been having with you, supporting you in your learning, because in 2 weeks' time, term will start again. Your teachers will still be here, and the message from them is that they want to continue to support you, finishing courses, clarifying points, responding to your questions, and making sure you're as well prepared as you possibly can be for the summer examination session. Once those grades come back again, and the examination boards Ofqual have said that those grades will be released to us, your actual grades for the summer, which will stand. They will be grades that you can take forward with you into later life. Many of you will be very happy, I'm sure. Many of you will be delighted with the grades that you get, and there will inevitably be some who think, well, that's not a fair grade. We don't know what grades will come back. There'll be number crunching from the Ofqual end, from the examination boards, and as much as we will do everything we can to give you a fair grade, we're not entirely sure what will come back from Ofqual at the end of the day. So let's say, for example, you're a pupil and you're really hoping for an 8 or a 9, but for whatever reason you don't achieve that. You get a 6 or a 7. Or indeed you're a pupil who's maybe looking to pass. Maybe you've found a subject very tricky and you want to make sure you get a pass grade, but you don't achieve that, which is possible in the summer examinations. Well, what happens is there will be another assessment opportunity, and the exam boards have said that that will be the earliest possible opportunity in the autumn term. So I have a sense that that is likely to be in September, possibly into October, but let's say it's going to be in September. You must prepare as best you can right now. If you stop revising now, preparing now, you are doing yourself a tremendous disservice, Because if you want that opportunity to improve upon your grade, to show, well, actually, this is what I think I'm worth, this is what I could do, you will get an early opportunity to do that in September. So it's vitally important that you go through that process of revising now, as difficult as it might be, particularly when the weather is good like this, and it's always like this, I hasten to add, classic, when you have to get your heads down, the weather is good. You should and you really must continue to work hard, and as much as it seems like an unusual time, you need to take on that responsibility, take on that resilience, take on that independence to do your very best at this particular time, because if you don't, you're going to do yourself a tremendous disservice. What Ofqual have said is they've said both grades will count. So let's say, for example, you get a 6 in your history, and it's a grade that you weren't comfortable with, you really wanted to do better, and you want to do the exam in as soon as possible in the autumn. You can take that exam knowing that the 6 is already in the bag. That is going to stay. You won't be able to lose that. It will not go down. So if you take the exam again and you get the 8 or a 9, for example, then that's the grade that you take forward, but you won't lose the 6 that you've already got. So it means it's thoroughly worthwhile for you to continue to work hard and continue your preparation. Once it gets to the summer half term, to the WIT half term, that's the point where I've been asking teachers to then really concentrate on looking ahead. So for the year 11s, you'll be looking at year 12 work, starting to focus down on the BTECs or the A levels that you might be taking. I know some of you have already started to do that, doing EPQ work, which is brilliant. But don't forget to keep going with that GCSE work at the same time, because really we will continue with that up until the final moment, which is the 29th of May. And after that, we have to submit grades. Both GCSE grades and A-level grades and other national examinations will be awarded at that time. For year 13 pupils, you're then looking ahead to university courses, higher education courses, looking at the different apprenticeships, the vast range, drama, music, sport, art, you name it, where you're going to go to next. And I would be saying to yourselves, at that point, after the summer half term, then you should really start to focus upon higher education courses and think about what's going to make you stand out from the crowd. And I think this is really one of my bottom lines here, which is when you look back at this, be it in August, September, in a year's time, 5 years, 10 years' time, I want you to be able to answer the question, what did I do at this time, at Easter, in these very unusual circumstances? What did I do? What course did I take? Did I take the course of, I'm going to put my studies down, I'm going to relax, I'm not going to do any work at this time? I really, really implore you not to do that. You will be doing yourselves a great disservice for all the reasons I've already explained. But to say, right, I will take responsibility here for my learning. I will continue to follow the advice of my teachers. I will continue to talk to my teachers, make sure I'm best prepared as possible, make sure I'm using that 6-week window when summer term begins as best as I possibly can, preparing if needs be for any resits you might want to do in the autumn term, and then looking ahead and saying proudly, this is what I did, this is how I prepared myself, this is what I did and how I took responsibility for my learning. So what should you be doing? Well, get up in the morning, get yourself dressed, get your breakfast and get on. That's the bottom line here. Take responsibility. Ordinarily, I would be saying, look at the advice you've been given by your sixth form teachers, by the GCSE staff here, which would be structuring your day, thinking about the study skills. That's what I would be doing. Frankly, that's exactly what I'll be doing. I'll particularly focus in the morning. That will be my time for really hard graft and studying. I'll probably have an afternoon session, maybe 2 as well. There may be other things that you need to do. There may be things that you are involved with already. I have already appealed to the community to make sure that you are supporting. And given the fact I'm speaking to your 11, 12, 13 pupils here, I would ask that question, what are you doing more widely? I'm sure you're doing all sorts of things, getting involved with community work, charity work, and that sort of thing, which is great. Get that balance right. So get up, get on, do your studies and get the balance right with other things that you need to do as well. Take that responsibility. Look back, I suppose, with pride when you look back in the future. Beyond that, follow the government guidelines. The school is going to be here. The teachers are here. I'm in fairly regular contact with mums, dads, guardians and members of staff on a daily basis. You should be following the government guidelines, making sure you're looking after yourselves, social distancing, keeping yourselves safe to the best of your ability, and you've got something you can and you should be doing, which is getting on with your studies at the end of the day. So that's my advice. Look after yourselves, keep talking to your teachers, to mums and dads. There may well be lots and lots of questions, and we're happy to have those. So keep firing away if there are any questions and queries. There will be further updates this week and next as well. We're looking forward to seeing you in virtual form. You've got you've got sort of two more weeks of the Easter break, and then you're going to be back to it. And whatever you do, make sure you're prepared for that study at the start of the summer term. Look after yourselves. It's very quiet without you, and we're missing the community here, and we're looking forward to seeing you. We hope very soon indeed. Take care.